Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Mandatory mask wearing to return, says Holness. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has served warning that mandatory mask wearing will return shortly in the wake of the fifth wave of COVID-19.
I'm going to take it off because I am distanced from the gathered audience. It is going to be a requirement shortly for all our citizens to return to wearing their masks. As you know, we are in the fifth wave, and it will be a continuing feature of life going forward that we will, for some time, be experiencing recurrent bouts of increased infections from this disease. It is called the endemic phase, meaning that the disease is becoming a part of our daily routine. After 2 years, everyone should know how to behave in order to protect themselves from the virus. First order of business, get vaccinated. Some people don't want to do it. Some people have done it. What we know is that the vaccination program has saved lives and has reduced hospitalization. That is what we know. So some people would have decided to be enlightened about this matter, and they would have taken their vaccination and even their booster shots. Others would have said, I will take my chances, and they would have probably gotten inoculated naturally, meaning that they would have acquired and obviously be infected, and people are getting ill. Thankfully, we are not seeing the infections and the illness translating so far into hospitalization, serious hospitalization. We do maintain our capacity of beds in the hospital, but you would note that for the government to have had this great standing capacity to serve the infections, it would have meant that we would have redirected resources from other illnesses and other urgent treatment, and the health sector had to go back to treat with the operations and the services for which other citizens were deprived in order to treat with the pandemic. We don't want to go back to that situation again. So I am urging all Jamaicans to act responsibly.
Pig farmer shot and killed in Westmoreland. A pig farmer was gunned down near a shop in Townhead, Westmoreland on Thursday evening. Dead is 30-year-old Oshane Townman Bembo. Reports from the Seven Alamar police are that about 6:50 p.m., Bembo was standing beside the shop when he was pounced upon by gunmen traveling in a Toyota Axio motor car who opened fire, hitting him. The police were alerted, and Bembo was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Investigation continues. Gun found on the house in St. James. Cops seized an Intratec 9mm submachine gun with a magazine containing 7 9mm rounds of ammunition during an operation in Amity Hall, St. James on Thursday night. The police report that about 9:30 p.m., a team was in the area when they saw a group of men. On seeing the police, the men reportedly ran. The police team pursued the men, however, they escaped. A search of the area was conducted, and a firearm with ammunition was found under a house. No one was arrested in relation to the seizure. Body found at sea in Portland. The partially nude body of a woman was found floating in the sea behind the compound of Titchfield High School in Portland yesterday. The discovery was made shortly after 9 o'clock. It is reported that a fisherman was on his bamboo raft fishing near the East Harbor area when he stumbled upon the body. He raised an alarm and the police were alerted. Police sources said the body was clad in what appeared to be a blue long-sleeve shirt and was naked from the torso down. The remains were subsequently removed from the water and taken to a morgue. The deceased is yet to be identified. Water disruption for sections of Claremont. Sections of Claremont are to be without regular water supply until next week Wednesday as a result of a damaged pumping unit at the National Water Commission's NWC Kemps Hill Treatment Facility. Operations at the plant has been suspended. The NWC is advising that due to this situation, it has escalated the installation of a new pump unit, and the work is estimated to be completed by Wednesday, May 25th. Customers served by the system will experience a disruption in their regular water supply. Areas impacted are Banks, Sedge Pond, Ashley Hall, HS, Water Lane, Race Course, Kemps Hill, Longwood, Offers Lionel Town, Rocky Settlement, Rocky Point, Portland Cottage, Mitchelltown, Waterwell Housing Scheme, and Hayesfield. In the interim, water will be trucked to the affected areas. 10 wards of state get territory scholarship. 10 wards of state who are pursuing territory level studies have been awarded scholarships by the New York-based Jamaican charity Children of Jamaica Outreach, COJO. The recipients were selected based on their academic records and financial need. They are among 445 youth currently enrolled in the Child Protection and Family Services Agency CPFSA Transitional Living Program. Launched in 2014, the initiatives provide life skills coaching, vocational skills training, housing, accommodation, territory education support, and other opportunities to prepare the ward for independent living. Minister of Education and Youth Favour Williams, who addressed this awards luncheon held at the AC Hotel by Marriott in Kingston on Wednesday, May 18, congratulated the 10 scholarship recipients and urged them to continue to excel. You've done well. You demonstrated resilience. You did not allow the challenges of the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic to overwhelm you and distract you from what's important, she said. Founder and chairman of COJO, Gary Williams, said the scholarship program was introduced in 2012 to empower our youth. So much of them have done well, and we figure that will help them get into university and give them the tools to become productive citizens, he said. Derval Reed, who is a computer science student at the University of Technology UTech, said that the scholarship takes him one step closer to completing his studies and achieving his career goal of becoming a software engineer or applications developer. I feel really happy to know that I won't have to worry about the financial burden on my guardians, he said. Anika Gardner also shared that she intends to use the financial aid to complete her degree in language and linguistics at the University of the West Indies, Mona. My parents won't have to worry about how I will get to school. I can get to finish and hopefully go on to pursue my master's degree, she said. Meanwhile, Chief Executive Officer of the Grace and Staff Community Development Foundation, who is a sponsor of COJO scholarships, Sandrine Davis, said that the organization believes it is imperative that corporate Jamaica, non-profit organizations, and individuals support initiatives to safeguard our children and their future. We do this by ensuring that they have access to the highest level of education. Territory-level education must not be regarded as only for a privileged few. It is a right to all, she contended. Other sponsors include Victoria Mutual, Denny Shipping, JetBlue Airlines, Sagicor, Jamaica National, and a donor in Australia, who was once in state care and migrated from Jamaica in 1989. The Transitional Living Program involves collaboration with the Caribbean Child Development Center, the University of the West Indies Open Campus, and the United States Agency for International Development. Mandeville Hospital receives donation of urology equipment. Urology patients at the Mandeville Regional Hospital, MRH, in Manchester are to benefit from the use of a resectoscope used in prostate and bladder surgeries and valued at $1.1 million. The equipment and its accessories will be used for most of the endoscopic surgeries performed in the urology department. Consultant Dr. Sean Jones explained that this piece of equipment donated by the Manchester Wellness Foundation on Monday, May 16, is of immense value and will be used weekly in the urology department. Most of the hospitals don't have this equipment, and we have depended on private equipment brought in. Many doctors have lost their expensive lens and had to buy it back, so we will be looking after this very carefully. Thank you very much, Manchester Wellness Foundation, as we move forward and with operations of the department. This is what we started using in the 20th century, and we are now in the 21st century. So we are already 1 century behind, but thank God we made it this far, and we plan to add item by item to our repertoire, Dr. Jones said. CEO of the facility, Alwyn Miller, expressed gratitude to the foundation for assisting the hospital with its inventory of specialized equipment. Some years ago, one of my colleagues made the point of the value of having the appropriate equipment in the hands of a specialist who knows how to use it in terms of the intervention that can be made in the interest of patient care. We are thankful that we have Dr. Jones, who is a part of our surgical team and who has given us guidance in terms of equipment that can help in his particular service to many members of the population, not only in Manchester, but across the region, Miller said, as he stressed the value of the equipment will bring to patients. The CEO lauded the foundation for its exceptional dedication to assisting health facilities in the parish, noting that the organization was able to raise funds through a raffle despite the cancellation of its two main fundraising activities due to the COVID-19 restrictions. The foundation was established in 2003 and since its inception has donated more than Jamaica $20 million to health institutions in Manchester with the mission of supporting health and wellness facilities in Manchester and promoting holistic wellness. Prime Minister Under Holness stated that we have to ask the Public Procurement Commission to develop a policy for the use of performance-based system to determine who is awarded government contracts.
Sometimes we see contractors get work and they don't do the work properly, and then they turn up. Somehow they get work from the government somewhere else and do the same thing, don't perform, and the government gets a bad name. And the good contractors get a bad name. So we have asked the Public Procurement Commission to develop a policy and procedure that will start to make contractors performance-based in terms of how they can get work from the government. There has to be a system that when the contractors actually do their work, they are rated, and if they don't perform, there is some consequence for them so that they don't end up back in the system with the same bad performance. That is absolutely necessary. So that is being examined, and I'm certain that within a couple of months we will be coming back to the country with a new policy and procedure as to how we engage contractors, the standards we expect of them, and the consequences they will face for non-performance or poor performance of contracts that they have been awarded. If the country is going to grow, as we know, we feel the growth coming, we see the employment increasing. On my way in, I'm seeing several excavators and backhoes and all kinds of projects going on. So work is going on, but it has to be properly managed. So we want to have a contractor corps who embrace technology, embrace best practices, they are performance oriented, and they have a modern outlook.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.